Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. People have tried to divide Sikhs into two different categories, practicing and the non-practising. I've just tried to come up with something slightly different here. So this is something that I was thinking about quite a lot, and I thought, how about depending upon how they see Guruji? Now you say, well, oh, there's only one Guru. Yes, there's only one Guru. The one light of all the Nanaks is now in Guru Granth Sahib Ji. My apologies that this is such a basic diagram. I'm not very good with graphics. It's just pure PowerPoint. But imagine this. There's two ways of looking at Guruji. And one is, we see Guruji as wisdom. And Guruji is wisdom. Guruji is full of wisdom, pearls of wisdom that he's sharing with us. And in that way, we see him as a teacher, Jagat Guru. He's full of wisdom for us. And then there's another end of the spectrum, where you can still keep that wisdom of Guruji, but now you're saying Guruji is Satguru. Satguru being, he is the embodiment of the truth. He is true in the sense that everything he's teaching us about the world and about how to live is true. But also, he's a being of power who can give us Gurprasand. So it's going back to that Ik Oankar Satgur Prasad. So that Guru is the person who is able to bless us. He has the grace. What I'm trying to say is that people come into Sikhi seeing Guruji as that wisdom, as that knowledge, as that beautiful truth. But over time, some of that knowledge that Guruji has given us, we put into practice. We start reading Gurbani, we start doing Simran, we start hanging out with people that are following that Sangat. And slowly, we realize the power of our Guru. We see the Gurprasad working in our life. We see the power of Guruji to uplift us, to enlighten us. There's two things that are on this. It's faith and rehat. Now rehat is the way you live your life. And in Sikhi, the rehat is how Guruji tells you to live your life, i.e. your daily prayers, your daily way of living your life. That means how much part you do, that means how good your actions are, how much you fight your Kaam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Ahankar, how good the things that you take on, how fearless you are. That's your rehat. And basically, when we start off in Sikhi, our rehat is not so big. We start following a little bit apart, a little bit of Kirtan, and then hopefully we're trying to extend that so we can do our part properly, so we can do our Simran properly, and we can start really looking inside ourselves and fighting all those panchor. But also, there is this other side, which is you've got your faith. Now, the reason I've put that separately is because, there's a lot of people out there, and we know them, they've got a turban, they've got a beard, they do their prayers, but actually when you question them, they haven't got that faith. They're not willing to put their head on Guru's feet and say, do what you like. If tomorrow there was an attack upon a Gurdwara, a lot of the people that would come out in defense of Sikhi and be prepared to put their life on the line and really come with their head on their palm of their hands, there'd be a lot of these Punjabi Munde that walk around clean shaven. They got a lot of heart for Sikhi, they got a lot of love for Sikhi, they got their faith. There's a lot of people that would die for Sikhi, within the Sikh Panth. But unfortunately, there's not a lot of people that would live for Sikhi. And this rehat is a living for Sikhi, and the faith is a dying for Sikhi. I'm not saying you should die, but you have that pure love for your Guru, that you would give everything for your Guru. And these two things, they go hand in hand. You have to have both. But also, they're tied together by something which is very important, which is experience. As you have like vicious circles that get worse and worse, you also have virtuous circles. And experience is a virtuous circle. The more you experience by doing part, how powerful Gurbani is, by singing Kirtan, how powerful Gurbani is, by doing Simran, how powerful the Gur Mantar is, by hanging out with Sadh Sangat, you see how powerful the Sadh Sangat is. The more your belief in your Guru's way increases, your experience increases, and so your faith and your rehat also increase. The Gurprasad really comes in that experience as well, and Guruji blesses you with that experience. And so this diagram and this way of looking at Sikhi is just to say, well look, where are you on this path? Don't ask me where I am on this path, but I'm trying to get on this path and move along it as well. And we're all on this path. And this is not a diagram where, oh, I'm just giving it to you guys. We're all on this path. And we're all trying to increase our rehat, and all trying to increase our faith. And also we're trying to have that experience. Gurprasad is what we're aiming for. But at that point, there's the act of giving your head. You actually give your head to your Guru. As it comes from Sukhmani Sahib, Man beche Satgur ke paas, tis sevak ke karj ras. So the person who sells their mind to their Guru, that person's work comes to profit. Guru is saying, look, sell your mind to me. I'm the true trader. I'm the person who can actually make your life useful. Sell me your mind, Guru saying. And Guru is not me. Sell Guru your mind. And at that point, your work will come to fruition. So giving your head is actually an essential part of this path. And it doesn't mean taking Amrit. I mean, taking Amrit is not the same thing as giving your head. People take Amrit but don't give their head. That's the reason I'm saying that. Giving your head ends up you make taking Amrit. But actually, you're giving your head first. You know, and an important point to note here is that the Panj Pyare, when they went up to take Amrit, they didn't go up to take Amrit. They went to give their head. You know, Guru Gobind Singh Ji was standing up there with a big sword and saying, I want a head. And 5 people dared to give their head to the Guru. I don't think that those 5 people went up there to wear the Panj Kakar and put on a dastar and say, I am the Khalsa. What they went up to do was they were going to end their life because Guruji demanded it. And really done the Panj Pyare for having that bravery and for showing us how it's done. That comes back to that line, Man beche Satgur ke paas. We're selling ourselves to our Guru. That line, you know, that's really what we're trying to cross over this barrier when we see Guru no longer as just wisdom, but actually as Satguru, the person who deserves us to give our head to him. And he has a Gurprasad to bless us with afterwards. The reason this line of giving your head is not at the far end is because after giving your head, you still got a lot of work to do. And everybody who's Amritari knows that. There's a lot more work to do, in fact, after you've taken Amrit than before. Because now you've committed to this path and you actually have to sort yourself out. I've made many mistakes in this and it's really just an analogy. This is not a prescribed way. The mistakes I've made in this, I apologize for. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.